Alright, this is Battlefield 3 strategies and tactics with Dynamite Tiger. Oh, you thought this was gonna be digital, right? Well, no. We can't afford that around here. Alright, anyways, my name is Dynamite Tiger. I'm an admin with Veritas Gaming. Just to give you a little bit of background. I promised this video for quite a while, and I would never find the time. Anyways, I'm an ideas guy, and so the more and more I've been thinking about this video, I'm like, oh, I should do this, I should do that, and I should, I should do a video on this, and then it turned into, I'm gonna do an animated short and have voices, and anyways, my mind just keeps going, and I've got so much going on with the gaming community right now. We've got a fundraiser going on right now and all that. But anyways, Battlefield 3 strategies and tactics. For those of you who don't know me, I've been playing first-person shooters regularly for at least 10 years. Gone through the different games and all that kind of stuff. Right now, playing Battlefield 3 mostly. I administrate the community, and I've been what we call the division officer of the Battlefield side of things, and so I'm a regular to having full teams and trying to organize full teams regularly. I've had clan matches, 12v12 clan matches. I do play on the PlayStation 3 primarily, but what I will go over is definitely something you can use in PC as well. Alright, so this is how you can break them up, okay? You got an AA squad, which is your anti-air, your flanker recon squad, okay? These are 3 different designations, all related. And then you've got your anti-vehicle / support squad. That doesn't mean the support class, that's talking about support, so being a support player, and then the objective squad. Back when we used to do fire teams for Call of Duty and stuff like that, we'd make it real simple and say you've got 3 fire teams, you've got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie fire team, and then we'd split up our team strategies from there and say, oh, okay, so Bravo Charlie is going to go to the BM com, and Alpha is going to go around and go for A or whatever. With Battlefield 3, it's great because you've got you can have these easy designations. So I will show you quickly how you can use each one of these same fire team setups for every single game type in Battlefield 3, and it makes it easier for everybody to understand what their objective is in the whole team strategy. You have to know the difference between strategy. First of all, let's know the difference between strategy and tactics. Okay, a strategy would be you want to win, of course. Another thing would be your strategy is how your team is going to get that win. All right. Then you break it down from there. Okay. With that said, the air squad is going to take care of the air guys. The anti-vehicle squad is going to take care of the vehicles, and the objective squad is going to take care of the flags. So everybody knows what their job is. The tactics now from there is, okay, the anti-air squad, this is their tactic. They're going to go, 2 guys are going to spawn in the chopper, and 1 guy jumps out over enemy lines as a recon, plants a beacon behind enemy lines, and the next person spawns in the chopper. That would be a valid tactic for the anti-air / flanker recon squad. the way that this is the way that this is all split up on the battlefield, I'll show you in a minute. But let me quickly go through some more of the designations of what these actual squads do. The anti-air, obviously, that's self-explanatory. Now, number one question is, what does that squad do if there are no air vehicles? That brings in this. Okay, on a map, say like Bazaar, you've got flanker recon squad. So they are primarily their objective is to get behind enemy lines and set up recon points, or beacons rather, but also be recon for the rest of the squad. Tell the rest of the squad, tell the other fire team captains what is coming out of spawn, or what they can see on the other side of the lines. Depending on the size of the map, this all can change. Everything has its own flexibility. Of course, you know, everybody's got their area of defense, and if you watch Luetin's videos, he likes to call it the golden circle. It's just basically your defensive area. So when you break it up now, what you're going to do is, we should just erase this. What you're going to do is you're going to have each one on their objective, and it's going to help you keep everybody organized on the field. So typical Conquest, right? Let's say you've got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie. Their spawn is over here. So you've got your objective squad. Number one should go straight to Alpha, take Alpha out, and the anti-vehicle squad goes to Bravo, and their objective is to try and set up a line. Okay, the AV squad. The anti-air squad, of course, is all over the place, but the objective really is to set up that line. But the anti-air or the vehicle squads or the flanker squad needs to try and get past that line. That's their objective. Get across the line. So number one, threat to squad, and number two, you need to fulfill your squad strategy, tactic, which way you look at it, and number three, and then is your actual team strategy. Doing this while you do this. All right. So the on Conquest, like I mentioned, although maybe you haven't seen, is you've got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, or sometimes it's like, you know, Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Typically, you want to just try and find the line across the map, right? The way, if you think about the way that a spawn trap happens, okay, you've got the one spawn, you've got the other spawn. How does the spawn trap happen? Well, you've got what they end up doing is they're creating a line of defense that every time somebody comes through, they get blown out at that line, and that line just continues to move forward continuously until they get you in your spawn, and then they've got you trapped there. This is what you want to do as on the offense as well. Is you need you just think about it the opposite direction. The strategic way to do that is to make sure that everybody takes care of their own thing, as well as, as far as even in the administration part of things of managing squads, this creates accountability. So if, say, you have practice time set out and you guys are going to get together and work on these things, and the objective squads, this guy is gone, this guy is absent, and it starts to create more of accountability. This just helps you, and if you've got structure, right? And this is something that with Veritas Gaming we really have got it nicely balanced out, where there's a certain amount of structure and then there's a certain amount of accountability as well. So you've got your AAAV and AA squad. Let's bring it around to Rush. So in every map, first of all, on Rush there's it's definitely a debatable topic, but there's 9 times out of 10, in my opinion, there is always a primary objective, and the primary objective being chosen by several factors depending on the proximity of the MCOM to their spawn. So if it was there, you know, they're closer to this one than they are to this one. I would venture to say that Bravo would be the primary objective, because if you take out Alpha, it's easier for them to create a line of defense this direction than it is for them to create one this direction. With that said, also though, sometimes this one can be completely wide out in the open, and this one's got tons of stuff around it, which makes it a lot more difficult. You take this one out, boom, boom, it's gone in like a minute or less. You can bang it out really fast, and then everybody, they've got spawn beacons in here, they've got all their vehicles are set up over around here, and there's no way you can get in. So then again, Alpha would be primary objective. So what you want to do is you've got your spawn, and again, depending on what is the primary objective. Let's say for this case, you know, Alpha is the primary objective because I've already got it drawn out. So let's just do that. Your objective squad, the number one objective is to get in there, of course, and plant that bomb. That's their objective. Okay, the AV squad and slash support, right? They are there to try and help support the objective guys to get in there. So they're trying to go. The objective team's going this way, and the AV squad. If let's just say that tank is camped out on that side of it because he knows that he can try and get a good shot in at spawn or something like that. The AAV squad needs to get in there and protect these guys as they try to advance. In the perfect world, what you need to do is get your AV squad here, and that way it creates that line of defense. Now, we all know that, I mean, this is on a whiteboard, this is the perfect world, but in the game there's so much chaos. But the thing again is that if you know what your objective is, then you have something to shoot for, and you know where you need to be, right? If that AV squad knows that they want to get there, but that tank is there first. Okay, first off, they want to go this way. They want to try and take out the tank. Then all of a sudden they get attacked by tons of Doritos, and they're getting RPG'd. Maybe the tank goes down. Boom, it's gone. Objective squad is in the fray. So tank needs to come up and start supporting the objective team, right? Get in here, try and help them eliminate some of these baddies in there, and get in here and try and create a line. Again, get over here. If you need to be here, who cares? Whatever. If that's where you need to do to create a suppression effect, then that's fine. But what you do, again, it's the support of that team. You want to try and get your objective guys in there to plant. So now let's just say you've got that planted. They're over here. They've got their tank set up. They've got their air vehicles are circling around. And now one of the biggest mistakes I see in Rush with team strategies is how, you know, everybody is now, you know, they've gone through their deaths, etc., and they're pushing this direction. Okay, and they've got their tank set up, or like I was saying there, and they've got their guys, and they've set up a line. All right, and everybody just continues to try and bombard that line, and totally forgets about this side of the map. This happens so much in Metro Rush, right? Like, it's huge. Totally forgets one side of the map, and then it just takes one squad to get around, going through here, because if they were smart, they would know to create a line this way, like that. That's what you need to do on defense. But most of the time, they completely forget about this side of the map as well, because they're getting so much heat from this direction, so they just pile everybody up. I should be using red there. They just pile everybody up. So getting in across the line is so easy. Don't forget about that side of the map. So let's just say, yeah, you've taken out Alpha and you need to get Bravo. Your AAV squad needs to get, yeah, they need to get right in here, right? So whether you need to go through the, there's nothing but lines on here now. But if they need to get, if they need to just do it from a distance, that's fine. But your objective is to try and create, try and support the AV or the objective squad in being able to get in here. The flanker recon squad, again, if it's getting down to the wire, they can even jump out of jets and put a beacon out somewhere, and you've got your way in. So that's how it kind of breaks down on Rush. So Conquest, we already know you try and get that line, right? Rush, you've got OB squad, AV squad, and the, okay, anyways, Conquest Assault. Again, what your objective is to get like your guys doing this. You've got one guy here, you've got these guys here, and this, and you've got your other guys doing this. Now, Squad Rush. This ends up happening more, and a lot of people avoid it because of the competitive nature of it, because there's 4v4. But there's, you can do the same designations in Squad Rush. So, and this is again breaks it down to how you do it with your squad tactics as well. So in Squad Rush, you've got 4 guys, and so it's almost essential, in my opinion, to have a support and a recon, and the other 2 can be as flexible. It can be a couple of assaults. Again, in Squad Rush, then now you've got only one MCOM and 4 guys. Against 4 guys. Now, instead of, you know, it always depends, and you got to be flexible depending on the map, but you have to go. What you want to try and do as far as a team strategy is concerned, again, is you've got your flanker, who is to try and get around the line that they've created across the map. Again, Squad Rush being very narrow maps and usually very narrow choke points. So your flank is to try and get around them, sneak, stealth, whatever it takes. Then you got your support guys. I would split it up. So you got 1 of these, 2 of these, and 1 objective player. Your support guys, again, you've got your objective guy and your support guys like this. You should try and set them up so they're trying to set up a line. Of course, the dynamics of Squad Rush can always change, but you want to try and get your support guys in and around the bomb so that this guy can come in there and blind. So I'm going to try not to go into too much detail here on Squad Rush, because I could spend an easily, and this is where I was thinking earlier that the more and more I thought about doing this video, how much you could cover with all of this, and I could easily spend at least another half an hour just on Squad Rush alone. As far as tactics and stuff is concerned, but I'm just going to leave it at this. And here's one of the biggest arguments against using a strategy like this. And the argument would be is, okay, you've got 4v4. Why not anybody can plant? Whoever's the first to the bomb gets the plant. You know, and you make sure you count them out. This is a big part of Squad Rush, is the accountability and having quick and proper intel, making sure you have accounted for every 1 of those guys. Count them out as you kill them. 1, 2, 3. All right, push, push, push. 4th down, bang, bang. First person with the bomb plants. The problem with that is there's no accountability. There's no clear objective for each player. it can be done with good players, especially with people who play with, if you're playing with the same guys a lot, you're going to get to know how they play, and sometimes it just gels, and this is where a lot of people think, oh yeah, our squad is really gelling well together, because everybody has kind of developed their sense of direction in the game based on what their teammates do or don't do. And so you get to know about, okay, well, this person always likes to go left side on this map, so I know that I got to cover right side because so and so is going to cover, and that's and that works. But having a structure like this, right from the start, you get rid of all of the gray areas, right? So if you set it up this way, so okay, so no problem. Say the flanker gets flanker gets around, and the flanker gets to the bomb, or gets close to the bomb. He takes 2 guys out, bang, bang, they're dead. 50 bullets in your head. Then, so he goes 2 down, push, push, push. The support guys push up, they take him out. Meanwhile, the flanker is planting the bomb. The objective guy is catching up, and he's coming across. Now, what's the problem with that is, now the first 2 guys that he just killed are already coming out of spawn, and out of their spawn, and again, it's not usually far, so they're coming out of their spawn. You've got 2 guys. This guy's planting, objective guy's catching up, these guys are just taking out the other 2, and these guys are on their way in. So these guys are automatically trying to figure out, okay, they need to stop the force, so they try to get set up real quick. Say the flanker guy, he goes around over to this side, and the support guy the objective guy gets over to the bomb he's trying to plant. Maybe he gets on top of a roof or something like that. Now, the problem again is that the flexibility is there with this team, but the structure is not. And what happens is there's the unpredictability of squad rush. You don't know exactly what those guys are going to do. They might spawn here. They might already have, maybe they've, good chances they could have a beacon out somewhere over here maybe, and they're going to spawn here and not have to run up. So as soon as they're dead and this guy's planting, they're moving up. Bang, bang, your guys are dead. And he's by himself. So the difference being is, let's draw this over again. If you've got your objective players, so your objective player pushing up with the support guys, okay, and again, the objective is to create that line, to get a line of defense. Usually in squad rush, it can happen pretty fast. Like you can go bang, 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 all the guys are dead, but everybody needs to get into position after that point, and actually, do what you're required to do. The support guys are there. The flanker guy, he should still actually be behind enemy lines, and I would venture to say that he should maybe stay quiet until the other guys push forward and get them again from behind, flank them from behind, or at least, and make sure he's got a beacon out there or something like that. Because it's a lot of, again, let's not get into too much detail, because squad rush is all about the tactics, and it's all about micro decisions. But what it comes down to is your team strategy is, again, of course, you want to win. The subcategory, the sub-objective to that would be, you want to create a defendable battlefield, right? And you want to form the battlefield to your favor. So you need to be able to get in position. You might need to take out some walls, blow out some walls if they're in your way, to try and support or cover that section, depending on your restrictions of your match, of course. But the team strategy works for all of them. We can do the same thing, can apply to team deathmatch. Now, team deathmatch, that's the first thing you need to understand, and team deathmatch is one of the is the like it's liked by those who don't want to play the objective because they can play on their own terms where you know, they can try and predict the spawns, they can watch the movement, they can play more stealthy, or they can be always the one to be the flanker. You know, taking a certain role in in that same fire team setup without even a flanker, AV support, and your objective. Now, in team deathmatch, first of all, you need to understand the spawn system. The spawn system, it will always, okay, let's say they first spawn here, okay, and you spawn on this corner. 5, let's say 6 on 6. Okay. You know, first things first, everybody rushes out to the middle, and a few of them die. Let's say, blah, 2 guys, 3 guys die, and there's still 3 or 2 or 3 back here, and you know, 5 of your guys are pushing forward. Okay, these guys are done, they're gone, and 5 of your guys are pushing forward. The other 2 maybe are trying to, or the other 1 there is trying to flank around or something like that. The way that the spawn system works is it will spawn you. And there's a lot of variables, of course, and every first-person shooter is a little bit different in that regard. But because, especially with team deathmatch, there's no flags or objectives or any other, and no actual direct spawn. It can spawn you everywhere, anywhere. So what they do is they'll set it up so that you will spawn in the opposite direction of the majority of the opposition. Okay, so if there is 5 of you guys over on this quadrant, the game is going to spawn them as far away from you as possible. So they're going to end up spawning back where you spawned. Or maybe if you guys are, you know, pushing them into this corner, and you know that they've gone this way, it may spawn them over here. Okay. And it will constantly move that and constantly rotate that. Of course, there's difference, you know, there's some variables in there with recon points and all that kind of stuff, but the same principles apply. You're putting pressure to eliminate a target, and then the target moves, and you need to move your positioning in order to take out that target. Now, what normally happens in Team Deathmatch is just utter chaos. It's just everybody is everywhere. I'm not going to scribble all over my board, but you know how it goes. It's just chaos, and everybody's going for the kills, so it kind of turns into like ants fighting over a dead grasshopper or something like that, and it's just this little mess moves around the map with all of these kills around and skulls and everything. And you can control, if you want to do team deathmatch competitively, you can do it. You can just, what you do is you've got your objective team. You know, and again, the numbers with this can change, but like percentage-wise, if you want to do it like that, in a perfect world, you have like 30% on either one of these fire teams. Like let's, for instance, like on PC though, you could actually, you know, split this up even more. Let's say PC, you've got 32 players, right? So you've got your 32, so you can do, you've got 3 objective squads rather. So that is 12 right there, right? Then you've got 3 anti-vehicle / support squads, and so you've got another 12 there. That's your 24. So now you've got 2 squads left, and instead of, you know, having it like this, so now then you're going to actually have 2 anti-air / flanker squads, and then you can split that up from there and make it so that you've got 1 squad as an AA squad and 1 squad that is a the flanker recon. Now again, with the flexibility, say you don't it's on a map with no aircraft, then just you can split them up and say one are the recons and 1 are specifically flankers, which could be assault classes. And they could be the specific flanker while the other guys. Now, again, the flexibility is there, and you can change it up a little bit as you need. So going back to team deathmatch strategies, you can set it up there's a few different strategies you can try. You can have your objective team is supposed to set up a perimeter around a certain building, and it's their objective to try and hold on to this corner of the map. And then what that does is you can create, and then you've got your support players, right, are going to help them out, and try and create a barrier around this quadrant. And so what ensues is everybody, all the baddies, start coming after you, trying to set this up. There might be a big, huge firefight over here, and you may just be dead over here in this corner. And what you need to do is actually get your flanker, of course, in order to get your flanker behind enemy lines. The whole objective of this is trying to control the map, and you try and create that pressure. You have the support guys creating the line, and then the flankers can go around and get them from behind as they are trying to get back over to your quadrant. Another way to do this is to actually have a moving base. Move actually around in a rotating around the perimeter of the whole map, counterclockwise or clockwise. And what ends up happening, if you can get the speed and the rhythm proper, and you'll see this often with maybe one or two people, and you feel like, oh, they're dominating, man, they're everywhere on this map. And what they're doing is they're actually, they're going over here, they're killing the few guys that they can. By the time the last few are being killed, then the next few of your guys are spawning this corner. Meanwhile, he's coming in, and they come out, and he goes bang, bang, kills another couple. These guys, in the meantime, are doing the delta split and trying to move this direction. He comes around, bang, he knifes a couple. He's going around. Meantime, you're killing all these guys, and the whole mess of everything else is happening. Say it's sort of center. It's just going to keep popping you to the opposite direction of the majority, and you can keep up. As a squad, you can do the exact same thing. Is you create a perimeter of defense around you, and you're pushing forward as you go forward around the map. Squad deathmatch is exactly the same way. You would just do it the same, use the same type of strategy, and trying to create yourself a perimeter of defense. With capture the flag, again, we've got their flag and ours. Okay. The objective team is defense. They create the defense. AV squad, they create the support. They play middle map. The AV squad needs to be controlling the center of the map. Now, if maybe I'll link it in the description or whatnot, but if you haven't seen Luetin's capture the flag tactics and strategies, you should see that. And he talks about how there's strong defense and there's strong offense, and the most difficult but most effective tactic is to hold the line, and this is normal. And basically, you want to control the center of the map. So with that same fire team strategy, the same AA flankers support and your objective, you can try and set this up. So what you're going to do is you've got your support squad, or rather your objective squad is here, your support AV squad is here, and then your flankers recons are trying to be the runners. They are the ones that are going to go back and forth. Now, depending on what your team strategy is at the time, and then again, this is just based on the dynamics of the game, whether you're doing strong defense, strong offense, or trying to just hold the line, your goal as a team should be to hold the line. This is what you want to do. You want to hold that middle of the map. Then you've got control of the map. Again, doing either one of those strategies still applies when you've got this type of a fire team setup. The support guys will fall back for a hard defense, or they can push forward to help the flanker recons in order to secure a flag. So same type of strategy. So I've been actually going through this, and again, I wish I had more time to do all these things, but you know, and if you've made it this far, kudos to you. For those who are gonna laugh, or if there's any hate mail on this thing, I don't care. I'm doing this for Veritas Gaming members and friends of the community who've asked me to take the time out to kind of show what I've been teaching. I've been going through this exact same, I've been teaching this exact same fire team setup, these team strategies and tactics to my squad, which is one of the bigger squads in Veritas Gaming. So we always have a full team of 12, or most of the time. And we've been going through this same strategy for every one of these game types over the last few months. I can tell you this works. It's all about planning ahead, and you've got your accountability with every single one of your fire teams. The other thing too, actually I haven't mentioned, is ideally you want just your fire team captains on team chat, and then everybody else in each squad is on squad chat. Now there's pros and cons to that, of course, and the pro to that is cleaner comms overall, of course, but the problem with it is that the fire team leaders have to be definitely proactive in making sure they relay any information that is important to any of the other squads, or asking for assistance, etc. But let's, with that said, let's move on to Conquest Domination. So with Conquest Domination, we typically would run with only 2 squads. Okay, this is sort of a typical setup. Maybe C would actually be a little higher. Something like this, right? Now, the problem, and this can happen with Conquest as well, it's easy to get into the habit of, or into the rhythm, if your opposition has the upper hand, and they are starting to predict your movement and different things like that, that they will, as soon as you start capping one flag, all of a sudden bang bang they're on you, and boom boom you die. You spawn somewhere else, you try another flag, boom boom you die. If you try and incorporate a strategies like these, you won't run into these problems. And here's how it works in Conquest Domination. Okay, so the way the spawn system works is, first off, if it will spawn you close to a flag that you own, if you own this flag, so it's going to spawn you somewhere nearby. If you don't own any of the flags, it'll spawn you in a neutral area. It's a little bit different for every map, and of course, first-person shooters, in general, it's generally the same. So what you want to do is you have your objective squad, and again, going back to, it's kind of like Rush in this way, where every one of the Conquest Domination maps, there is an undesirable flag. There's a flag for some reason is difficult to defend, or it's really close to one of the spawns, different reasons. But there's usually a flag that is always the most hot, or the most difficult to defend. In that case, and you want to hold half the map. You don't need to have all the flags in order to win, unless you're behind. Then you'll need to do that and make a push. But those are micro decisions that will have to be made at the time of the battle. That you split up and somebody does some attack and different things like that. It definitely can get hectic, especially close quarters domination. But essentially, now let's just say your objective squad is going straight in, and they're going to take out. They're going to capture one flag. Your flanker squad all of a sudden is going to go head the opposite direction. and trying to set up the flank. Now here's the thing, is you've got your objective players are trying to get on the flag. Your support players actually, in some cases, may not have to be, or should I say, should almost not be on the flag and be setting up a perimeter on that, because you know if they've just capped both of these, and you're just capping A, where do you think they're going to go? Of course, they're coming to you. So you got to have some guys trying to head them off. Okay, so say once these guys are headed off, and you've got this capped, the objective squad can either, depending on again on the situation, if there's too many baddies here, they should actually head out around, and maybe even head to a flag that is not hot, just to relieve some pressure. Here's the thing. Sometimes if they've put so much pressure on you and you're trying to hold this one flag, you have to actually just relieve some pressure. Even if you're trying to get, that C's the undesirable flag. Let's just point that out. Let's say C's the undesirable flag. We don't really want to hold C. We want to hold Alpha and Bravo. So we're going to try and relieve some pressure by taking Charlie, okay? We know we're not going to hold it long, because what's going to happen is they're going to go, oh, crap, they got behind us, and while you're even still capping it, they're heading that direction, all right? What you need to do is, leave maybe only one guy. Maybe it is only one guy who actually goes out there to cap it, depending on where you guys are in your spawns and the timing, right? And timing is huge. They are going that way to take out this guy. Meanwhile, you've relieved pressure on this line, and the support guys can start pushing towards here, or the objective guys can help with the support guys and push up to the flag that you want. You really need to. It's really important. It's not about how fast can you get to the flag once they do. Everybody's going back and forth. No, I've got the flag. I can do it faster. I can get it quicker. I can shoot you faster. It has nothing to do with that. It's all about the strategy. It's about controlling the map. So with that said, so now you've released some pressure, you get this, so then you got this flag. Wrong marker. Alright, so you've got that flag. And they've meanwhile gone back and they've taken Charlie back. And they're splitting up, let's say. They got a couple guys going this way, now they got a couple of guys going that way. And you've got a few of your guys here, and probably maybe nobody even at your alpha. But what you should be doing, again, is your objective squad, once they've actually pushed up, they should be maybe even splitting up, but they hold one, and your support squad holds the higher up one. You want to try and keep one as a home flag. And you take on, the objective squad takes on one, the support squad takes on the other. So now again, with everybody having a clear objective, they know where they need to go, and it's not just about trying to get to a flag faster. Ideally, again, you want to hold the line. You want to try and get, and of course with close quarters combat, there's choke points. It's all about the choke points, we all know that. So there's choke point, there's choke point. Oh brother. So you just need to cover up those choke points. Get some just defenses made up. Alright, so some commonly asked questions. I'm going to try and answer a few of them. Number one question always is, if I'm in the support fire team and I'm right on the objective, let's just call it easy and say we're playing Rush, and I'm right on the objective, should I plant the bomb? Okay. It depends. It's all about the flexibility. It's all about the intel. If you are a support guy and say your objective team is in a firefight someplace else, and you as a support team squad has got onto the objective, and you're all four there, and there's nobody there, and meanwhile the objective squad is trying to take Alpha, which say is our primary objective, because for some reason Alpha is, the hot spot, it's closer to their spawn, let's say, And so objective squad is having a really hard time, and you're on Bravo and you're the support squad, and you go, well, there's nobody here, let's just plant the bomb. You plant the bomb, okay? So this thing is going off. It's not a bad thing. It's sometimes required, but the thing is the difference being is that if you plant the bomb, forget it, forget about it. Okay, you can come back and replant it again, right? But what you're going to do now is all of a sudden, oh, well, these guys, a couple are going to go back and at least a couple are going to go and try and to defuse this this situation. Now, in this case, then actually get the support guys to get in behind over here and try and get in here. Now they've got a break. A couple of the guys have got in. If you can try and get it in around, let them get in there. Let them, with who cares if they get past you and stuff in while you're trying to flank around and they get over there and they defuse the bomb. Who cares? Now you got in here and you can start a wedge in here and try and support. Again, it's all about the support, supporting your objective squad who's trying to take Alpha. Because again, if Alpha is the primary objective because their spawn is there, now the support guys then all of a sudden just change their defense from here to here really fast, and bang, you've got Bravo again. It'll be cleaned out in a hurry because your green guys are going to get in there. Other common question, let's say the anti-air squad is having a really hard time in the air. There's some jet fighters on the other side who are extremely good, and they are having a really hard time in the air, and in the meantime the jets and or helis are completely decimating your support team and even the objective team. But what do you do? Now you turn around and say, well, you guys in this fire team suck and we need to get somebody else. No, you know what? It comes down to back to the same thing, that your number one objective on each one of your fire team squads is the threat to your squad. So, with that said, these guys should be running. Somebody should be an engineer. If you're playing a map that has a lot of air vehicles or even vehicles altogether, of course they should be running engineer. Most of them will be anyways because they're a AV squad. I should hope so. But again, it's all about the flexibility. If these guys are having a hard time and the AA squad is now becoming more of a threat to everybody else, or the enemy air, right? These guys may need to start running with some Iglas or Stingers, or javelins, and actually the support class, somebody in the support team runs as a recon with a SOFLAM. So it's all about the flexibility, and you need to be thinking on your feet. That's really what's going to get you the win there. Yeah, you know, the more I've been thinking about this, is I should have been cataloging this. I should have actually been doing these right from the start when I was doing this with each one of my squads, and actually spending some time doing this and setting it up on YouTube. But you know, if there is some good feedback on this video, I will. I'll do stuff like this more often. It takes time. Like even you know what? I know that this is pretty ghetto, but I mean, it still took me like half an hour to try and set up the lighting for this, and my eyes are still glossy. You know, it's just so. You know, it does take time to do all these things, but I hope that this has been helpful for you guys. If there's any questions or concerns about the strategies, how to implement, how to manage squads, how to manage larger squads, the administration side of things. We've been with Veritas Gaming. We've been around for 3 years now, and you know, before that we were doing a lot of other gaming. We were doing other gaming communities and clans and different things like that. So it's I've been around for a while. Bobby and Luetin is now gone pro and all that, but I mean, kudos to him. This stuff like this. It takes a lot of time, and hence why, you know, if anybody thinks why this is not done in Adobe Effects that I could do so much better, well, I wish I didn't have a job. Well, I wish I was independently wealthy, but in any case. Thanks a lot, guys. This is Dynamite Tiger. Check it out.